Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back, Arizona Unplugged. So it's been almost a month since we've been out here off grid, and as you can see behind me is where the gardens are going to go next year, and I'll take you guys along with that journey. We're going to do raised bed gardens behind us, a little orchard with some fruit trees, and I believe to the right is where we're going to keep our chickens, put our chicken coops. That has not been determined yet. So, like I said, we're almost at a month. I think tomorrow or the next days, or 2 days, I don't even know what days. You lose track of time out here sometimes. The next few days is going to be our 1 month, totally 100% full-time off-grid here in beautiful northern Arizona. And I want to talk about the 5 things so far that we've experienced and we've learned about living full-time off-grid in this last month. Again, we've had this place for about 6 years or so, and we're now living here full-time. We have the cabin livable. The shop is still currently a storage unit for all our stuff. I got to get through that. The wife's been working really hard on that. And just got done with breakfast. The wife is gone, taking William to school, so I decided to put this video up. Talk to you guys about the 5 things that we've experienced so far, we've learned so far about living full-time, off-grid, out in the wilderness. My name is Vaughn, by the way, 50 years old, semi-retired, and we're living off-grid now, and it's pretty awesome. We're really enjoying ourselves out here. This is really nice, and we haven't seen rain in a couple days, so it's been drier. It's been much nicer. So 5 things to expect off-grid, and of course this list may be different than yours, may be different than what other people have experienced in their journey, but this is what we've experienced, some of the notable things that we've noticed, the 5 things, and I've got my 5 list here down on the ground so I don't forget anything. But number 1, we have noticed that we've become ultra sensitive to sounds and smells. Now, you know, I know, right? Out here, it's so quiet. You know, we don't have trains coming next to the house. We don't have traffic. We don't have honking horns. We don't have any of that. All we have is nature, birds, and then our pets are running around. The wind through the trees, that type of thing. The sounds part, you know, is so quiet that any little sound you can really hear clearly, and you're like, okay, what is that? It's not like a background noise. Every sound is an acute, like sensory overload. You know, as far as hearing is involved, you can hear everything that's like different. Like right now, I hear my cat walking up, and she's way over there. She's probably gonna come visit us here in a minute. But you can hear everything, and smells is the same. You can smell rain coming. You can smell, you know, when the propane tank is getting low and the thing vents. There's a little vent on it, and you can smell propane from like a mile away. Come here. We keep our cats outside now. They catch mice. Keep them out of the house and the shop. This is Pumpkin. So there you go. And then you got another one over there. So becoming ultra sensitive to sounds and smells. And I guess you could also say taste. For some reason, and my wife and I aren't the only ones, but people that we've had up here, friends and workers, all say the same thing. Food tastes better up here. I don't know if it's the elevation, the clean air. I don't know, but food just tastes better. Food tastes, there's more flavor to food, I guess you could say. Number 2, we've become noticeably more aware of the weather. Now, when you live in town, you know, the weather is what it is. You're either inside a building working, on a job site, in your car, in your home, or whatever. Here, we're outside a lot. And weather is a very important thing to know, you know, how really what to expect when it comes to weather. We have monsoons up here, which are torrential downpours with thunder and lightning. It's pretty crazy, pretty awesome. But you become very sensitive to the weather. You're always, like, every day I'm looking at weather reports. I need to know what's coming so we can prepare for it. You know, if there's a monsoon coming, we got to make sure all the windows are closed. We got to make sure the vehicle windows are closed. Animals are taken care of. Things that are outside that can get damaged by rain, you got to make sure they're put away. So sensitive to weather conditions is the number 2 thing that we've noticed out here we're always concerned about the weather. When we go, like we went to town yesterday, running some errands, you know, we're checking the weather. We want to see what it's like when we go higher up into the mountains or down in elevation to the deserts. We want to know what to expect a little bit more than, you know, living in town or where we used to live about an hour outside of town in San Diego. So weather is a big thing that we've noticed that we really have to pay attention to out here. The third thing that we have become to understand with our dogs, we have quite a few dogs here, is at night when they're barking. Now, you know when a dog is just barking at like a moth fluttering around a light, and when a dog is actually barking at an animal and he's scared, and you could just tell in the sound of the bark. Dogs, in my opinion, are force multipliers. Dogs are a great thing to have, and I highly recommend it for an off-grid situation, or really any situation, but in a place where you have to defend yourself against everything, that extra layer of protection and alarm, a notice of something wrong, is, I think, invaluable. It's a very good thing to have dogs, especially dogs that will bark when something comes around. So always have a flashlight next to you when you're in bed, when you're sleeping. Always have a firearm with you. You know, out here we've have animals that can kill you. We've got bears, we've got mountain lions. I got a baby mountain lion looking at me right now as one of our kittens. He's running around. Oh, by the way, thanks for the comments on the last video, guys. When I mentioned that bobcat that we saw taking William to school, this huge bobcat that was the size of like a large Rottweiler, at least 150 pounds, someone brought up in the comments that it was probably a lynx. I did not know we had those out here, but I did do some research on it, and apparently they do get as big as large dogs, unlike a bobcat. I've never seen a bobcat that big, and apparently they look kind of similar. They have the bobtail and the spiky ears, and so it may very well have been a lynx. So going back to the original statements here, there are animals out here that are predators. There are wolves out here, large animals, elk, bull, cows. Like I said, mountain lions, apparently lynxes, bobcats. We've got it all. This is not, you know, downtown San Diego, that's for sure. So when your dogs are barking, you know whether or not you should get up or if it's all good, and you could just stay in bed. So number 4, one thing we've become acutely aware of is our services, our water and our power, our propane. The amount that we use, we make sure lights and appliances are turned off when they're not needed. Water, we make sure that we're frugal with it, even though we have over 10,000 gallons of stored water here. I got 2 big tanks here, a small tank at the power room, and then 2 more large tanks over at the shop. We're very cautious and aware of how much water we use because we are not connected to any water municipality or power municipality. We create all our own power with our solar panels. We have a 4,000 watt system, which isn't huge. It's not small. It suits us for right now. I do want to increase it later. That'll be another video. But water, I don't want to haul water. I've never hauled water up here. One of the first things we did when we got this place is we set up a rain catchment system. Even our first temporary camp, if you remember when this channel first started, we had a temporary camp about a quarter mile from here at the entrance of our property. Even that had rain catchment. We don't want to haul water. This water is used as is for showers and laundry and, you know, dishes, that type of thing. It does, before we do any of that, it does go through 2 different filters in the power room before it gets into the cabin. And at the cabin, we have a Berkey water filter, thanks to John over at the Prepared Mind channel and his store for preppers, the preparedmind.club. If you're interested in buying a Berkey, I'm pretty sure he still sells them over there. We bought our Berkey years ago, and now we're using it. So we actually collect the rainwater. It goes through 2 filters, it gets pressurized with our pump, goes into the cabin, and from there, we put that into our Berkey, and we actually drink it. And it's fine. We've been drinking it now for a week or 2 and no issues. It's a great system. So water and power levels, we're very acutely aware of where we're at, what we're using, how much we're using, and what we need. So very important. One thing, I mean, we've always kind of been frugal that way, but just as for the sake of any new homesteaders watching this that are kind of doing the same thing we're doing, this is one of the things that we've really learned is our water and power levels and our usage. And last but not least, number 5, something that we talk about pretty much every day, my wife and I, is all the projects. All the projects. I could look around here and I just see weeks and weeks and weeks worth of work. I'm seeing a bunch of firewood that needs to be processed. I see a couple of repairs I need to do on the cabin yet on the outside. Just everywhere I look, I know there's stuff to be done. So if you're planning on living a life like this, if you're going to move off grid and start homesteading, prepare for the work. You know, people say, oh, it's easy. You just wake up, have coffee, go play in the woods and come home and go to bed. No. It is constantly work. As a matter of fact, I got a day's worth of work inside the cabin, wrapping up another project. Just the amount of work is never ending. You're always working, which is a blessing and a curse at the same time. You know, sometimes you just want to rest. And a good buddy of mine expressed the importance of at least having one day a week of just rest, not doing any work. And I think that's important. We've been taking 2. Typically on the weekends, we take William out. We went fishing last week. We went to the zoo in a nearby city, and we make it a point to not always be working. You know, have fun. But the projects are never ending, guys. When you live off grid, when you don't have, you know, a service technician to call, if you got cash and you just want someone else to do it, it's not really happening here. You got to kind of do everything on your own. At least we do. You know, we are almost 20 miles from the nearest paved road, and then another 20 miles to the nearest town. So it's not easy to get people out here. It is not easy at all to do any kind of work. As a matter of fact, I had to bring them in from San Diego. So that's where our workers came from. So those are the 5 things, guys. If you've been living off grid, if I've missed something for this first month of the things that we've become aware of, that we've learned more about, and that we've already known, and now we're experiencing it, if you guys have more to add to this list, put it down in the comments box. If this type of content is something that you enjoy watching, if you like the woods, if you like the outdoors, if you like the off-grid lifestyle, the homesteading, prepping lifestyle, that's what this channel is about. If you're into the politics and the rants and current events and stuff, check out my other channel, my original main channel, Backcountry Preps. And if you like this kind of content here, this homesteading content, please consider subscribing. It's just that little box down below. You see it there. Looks like the cat is chasing some sort of critter. We had one of the cats just right over here on the corner found a tarantula and was messing with it. So it was a good size spider, that's for sure. But yeah, we've got it all out here, guys. So if there's anything you guys want to discuss, any questions you may have for myself or for Pumpkin, put it down in the comments box. She's out hunting, which is a good thing. We've got a few cats here. Another good thing to add to your list if you move off grid, cats. Because man, we got mice out here and they are no fun to try to get out of your buildings. So that's what these guys are for. Hey. So anyways, you guys take care. I'll catch you on the next one. Prep and thrive.